Hello everyone, this is Ali Hu. The company our group investigated in is Budweiser, and our team members are Ali Hu, Janani Menkat, and Yu Chengpeng. So now let's get started. The vision statement about Budweiser is bringing people together for a better world. As a beer brand that's sold in more than 80 countries around the world, Budweiser is definitely a very successful company. According to the statistic, in 2020, its parent company Anheuser-Busch InBev has more than 163,000 employees, while Budweiser has 19,000 colleagues. This American beer brand, which was born in 1876, is one of the world's largest and most famous brewers. So as a world-famous beer brand, in addition to its skilled brewing technology, it has invested much effort for its brand. The mission is to lift up our neighbors and to create a future for everyone can celebrate and everyone can share in. As a result, Budweiser has created a mellow and smooth taste that is difficult for the competitors to surpass in commercial beer. At the same time, Budweiser is the sponsor of 2002 and 2006 World Cup. And as you can see here, it is Budweiser Zero, an alcohol-free beverage launched by Budweiser in 2020, and also followed upon Budweiser's vision. This product to maintain the original flavor of Budweiser beer without containing any alcohol. This product has also added zero sugar and only have 50 calories so that everyone can enjoy Budweiser, and also including those who need to drive or on a diet. Okay, now it comes to the market overview. And this segment includes the Budweiser sales from restaurants, bars, clubs, recreation outlets, such as sporting events and musical concerts. As you can see in those charts, Budweiser is doing really good. It has taken over the liquor markets, and its revenue is almost twice of its competitors. However, COVID-19 has huge impact across the global markets. Also, the birth of craft beer actually affected the beer industry. From 2016 to 2021, the industry has experienced significant changes caused by COVID-19 and also the rising of craft beer brands. Also, the ready-to-eat beverages, which is called RTD. At the same time, with the increase in numbers of consumers who love handmade beers, then this means that consumers' purchasing power for Budweiser beer will also be affected. Budweiser has to be careful with its supply chain. Each step must strictly handle from malt production, beer brewing, filling, and sealing. Budweiser also need to have a close relationship with suppliers who needs to receive, store, and distribute products. When raw material arrive, Budweiser is ready to process them into final product and put them on the market. At the same time, express delivery to the consumers through different distributors needs to arrive on time. Therefore, every step for Budweiser needs to be completed perfectly. Now it comes to Paso. The technology and economic parts are truly important for Budweiser in this case. While Budweiser is competing with all the other beer brands at this intense market for resource, its price, taste, and attraction must stand out in the market. All beverages have expiration date, and also does Budweiser. The expiration date is relatively short for beer. And this means that the technology for either production or sealing have to be perfect so it could satisfy those picky consumers. And for most brewers, revenue depends on local market share the most. But however, for Budweiser, international market is just as important as the local. It is relatively easy to enter the beer market, but it requires large-scale production input. Budweiser in this case definitely shows that in this market, only leaders survive.
Taylor's five forces describe the industry's nature within which a firm operates. These forces determine the competitive landscape and ability of a company to succeed and continue operating in the industry. The five forces include competitive rivalry, supplier bargaining power, consumer bargaining power, the threat of new entrants, and the substitute in the industry. This five forces model applies to Budweiser industry because there are numerous operate in the brewery industry and the conditions that govern the industry. Brewery industry within which Budweiser operates has a low risk of new entrants due to the strict requirements. Small companies find it challenging to achieve economies of scale. allowing large brewery companies to create cost advantage. Production costs are high, making it difficult for new companies to enter the industry. Companies entering in this industry have to adhere to strict government policy, discouraging new entrants. However, new companies have easy access to distribution networks. Since Budweiser is an established company in this industry, it has a good potential, which it can create through economies of scale. Additionally, supplier bargaining power poses a low risk to companies that operate in the brewery industry, such as Budweiser, making it difficult for suppliers to control cost and other aspects. There are numerous suppliers in this industry, making it challenging for few suppliers to change pricing or quality features. Budweiser industry has a few firms that serve significant number of consumers, make it difficult for consumers to control market prices and quality features. There are few alternatives in this industry, meaning that there are high costs of switching to other sellers in the market. In the same case, buyers are concerned about the quality of products rather than price, making this force a weaker power in the industry. Budweiser faces reduced threat regarding substitute because there are few substitutes in the industry. It becomes challenging for buyers to switch to other sellers in the market. Therefore, Budweiser can control prices and set its profit margins high without losing customers to its competitors. Competitive rivalry is an aspect that causes a significant threat for the Budweiser due to the high competition in the industry. Most firms operating in this industry are large firms with significant market share, requiring the company to create competitive edge to continue surviving in the market. There are few competitors, which pose a challenge for firms to make moves unnoticed. It poses a significant challenge for the company to create competitive edge. In the same case, differentiation is a critical factor in this industry. Every company focuses on this aspect, making it for Budweiser to convince customers from other companies with new product features. However, the brewery industry is achieving significant growth, providing good potential for Budweiser. Anheuser-Busch is the sole producer and seller of Budweiser beer, a strong beer brand in the US and globally. However, it has intense competition from other strong brands in the domestic and global markets. Miller is one of the top competitors of Budweiser beer in the local and international markets, with a high emphasis on quality and improved customer satisfaction. The company has increased market share, posing a significant threat to the Budweiser new customer acquisition and market expansion. Besides, Miller financial base and performance gave it an advantage of innovation, enabling it to reach a significant market share globally. Ambev is a crucial competitor for Anheuser-Busch in the brewery industry in the US. Although the company has not achieved a significant market share like Anheuser-Busch, it has a good prospect and a high financial performance, which give it an advantage over other companies in the market. Its economic growth prospects attract more investors, which might lead to a significant market share, threatening Budweiser market performance and customer base. Carlsberg is a top brewing company in the US and globally. It poses a significant threat to the Budweiser beer brand due to its increased and maintained quality over the years. The company has an intensive product portfolio, which gives it a competitive advantage through product mix and diversification. Its large market share threatens Budweiser customer acquisition because it has established markets and a customer base. Budweiser is a strong brand and has increased focus on acquisition, reducing competition friction. The company has improved cost cutting and is a unique, well-established brand in the global market. However, the brand faces challenges in maintaining high production volume, and the difference in culture of companies it acquires make it challenging to integrate. However, it has growth prospects due to the increasing online exposure and a craft beer sport. Some threats include high competition and legal issues that view beer as moral. The company's most applied and practical strategy is a differentiation. which has gained its significant market share and sales volume. It focuses on innovation and incorporating nature crops from local firms to develop new brands at affordable prices. This move have enhanced the company's market share to about 70% and 60% revenue growth.
Anheuser-Busch Bev, the parent company of Budweiser, has been doing a lot better in the last year compared to 2019 to 2020. From 2019 to 2020, the impacts of the COVID pandemic have been very negative. From 2020 to 2021, the company has been focused on recovering and they experienced an overall growth of 15.83%. As many events open back up, revenue is increasing and business operations are getting somewhat back to normal. When reviewing their financial documents, I instantly noticed the decrease in revenue from 2019 to 2020. The revenue declined the previous year as well, but not by as high of a margin. They overall lost more than $5 billion. In 2021, they were able to make higher than pre-COVID revenue, which shows that they had significant growth and their new strategies have been very effective. Cost of sales, gross profit margin, and sales and marketing expenses had similar changes as well. These values also declined from 2019 to 2020, but they increased in 2021, which shows that their business operations were coming back to normal. Their total assets is a value that I noticed had been decreasing since 2019. Even after we've exited the pandemic, this value is still decreasing. Management discusses Beyond Beer, which is a new strategy that Anheuser-Busch Bev implemented in 2020 to expand their beer portfolio to include seltzers, wine, malt-based drinks, and non-alcoholic or low-alcohol drinks. By diversifying their product mix, they increased their revenue by over $1 billion. Management has also noted that they are making drinks with healthier ingredients to meet the demand for nutritional grain. They believe that this will result in even more revenue and success. Over the last year, the company has also reduced their debt by $10 billion. They have greatly recovered and are making so much progress. They have even utilized their digital platform, BEES, to connect with even more users. This platform has helped them earn $20 billion with over 78 million orders. Risk factors account for difficulties that may arise in sourcing beverage containers. This section also accounts that there may be future difficulties due to lack of transportation and labor in certain markets, which will also apply the supply chain and push out the delivery times of products. There will also be negative impacts from social distancing and closures of events like concerts and festivals, as they are missing out from these potential sales. Future global pandemics will also cause sales to decline again as people will stay home and stop spending on excess things like alcohol, and they'll stop going to certain gatherings. Sales can also decline with changes in exchange rates as this will decrease their profit if another country's currency weakens against the dollar. Funding can also become difficult because this company has a very high debt, so they do not have great credit. It will be difficult to manage future acquisitions as well because of how big this company is. Emerging conditions that could impact sales would also be poor relations with other countries. Lowering age restrictions for alcohol, however, could boost sales in the future if this ever does happen, as in Europe, it's lower than how it is in America. War in Ukraine going on right now can also negatively impact sales as more countries getting involved could lower sales significantly in Europe and America. Also, the rise of alcoholic beverages that are healthier alternatives could be something that could either push Anheuser-Busch Bev back or it could push them forward as they are now expanding their portfolio. There are many opportunities now for Budweiser as COVID recovery is happening across many countries and the mask mandates are being removed. With this, many people are starting to go out again, have social gatherings, and sales for alcohol are increasing. Decreasing delivery time is a great opportunity that Budweiser could take on as well, as this would increase customer satisfaction and more customers will want to buy from Budweiser. Healthier drink alternative options are also becoming more desirable. And since Budweiser is exploring that category, this could become great news for them, as there are a lot of people that are interested. As I mentioned before, people are also getting very comfortable spending money as we are coming out of the pandemic now. So they would be open to trying new products and new beverages. So as a group, we came up with 5 different recommendations. Our first recommendation would be to introduce a handcraft beer line with unique and interesting flavor. This line targets consumers that already love trying beer and just want to enjoy a new variety. Budweiser can utilize surveys in order to see what flavors can be incorporated in this line as well to curate an amazing experience for all their customers. Our second recommendation would be to create global collaborations to target people all over the world. Budweiser can create collaborations with favorite brands in different regions to excite those markets with new and exciting drinks. Limited celebrity, comic, and movie edition drinks would also help reach more people as well. This would be a very exciting special edition, and we can really push the exclusivity of these drinks. We also believe that Budweiser should continue sponsoring sporting events and try sponsoring an esports segment, as this is becoming increasingly more popular. They should also work on increasing international sales as well, since there is a huge global population that loves beer. Working with local beer brands in different countries can also help appeal to the locals and increase their brand reputation globally. Although Budweiser already has a strong market base and performance, it can improve its competitiveness by focusing on marketing as a critical tool for improving its acceptance and market expansion in local and global markets. In essence, marketing research and increased marketing practices will keep the brand well performing and enhance its market share. Budweiser should also create an experience with a food delivery company like Uber or DoorDash and provide home tastings of new drinks and customer favorites. This will allow Budweiser to connect with customers, even if there is a future pandemic or future social distancing requirements. This doesn't hold them back. They can provide flights of drinks that can be delivered to their home and increase customer engagements. Customers can post about these things on social media, and it could provide them with more exposure and curiosity of this curated experience. Thank you so much for listening to our presentation.